The following video contains spoilers. We suggest watching the episodes alone in the dark. Yo, wolves! Catastrophe reporting for duty. And this spooky season, we're tackling another Halloween party from that terrifying horror show, G.I. Joe. What? Yeah, even G.I. Joe, a real American hero, had a Halloween special, like any all-star cartoon masterpiece, and it's surprisingly underrated. For those uncultured, G.I. Joe is well known for being a wicked action-adventure tune, about our American fighters combating the vile snakes known as Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. We'd gain some colorful heroes and villains, insane war-heavy storytelling, an endless surplus of Star Wars level action, and Sergeant Slaughter living up to his title. This was a peak series.
So we're celebrating by giving away Sergeant Slaughter action figures, but you can't buy them in stores, you've gotta earn them.
However, some people are oblivious to the fact that G.I. Joe's had some crazy plots even back in its heyday. Some even going so far that you'd never ever believe they did something so bizarre like a horror movie theme. The show's dabbled in supernatural, mind screw terror, science run amok, and actual death.
Ready? Aim? Negotiate!
I know, right? You may be thinking, that's so absurd or too weird. How can a child-friendly cartoon ever spice up a simple formula of good guys versus bad guys? Well, that's what we're here to uncover. I love G.I. Joe, and wanted to give the old tune some praise, since when it plays with horror, it really plays for the high score. Love this 80s classic, and I love horror. But do I love them when spliced together? Let's find out. Get in gear and grab your holy weapons because we're marching into hell. This is our wacky review on the G.I. Joe scary story, Skeletons in the Closet.
I hope you never learn what horror your actions may have caused.
G.I. Joe! So, our episode opens up with another embarrassing Cobra defeat, as 3 of the elite serpents slither off in disgrace, where the Baroness catches her man Destro cheating on her. Yep, the Baroness and Destro star as our main villains here, where the femme fatale and arms dealer warrior hit a lover's spat.
How can I ever repay?
You don't have to return the headquarters.
But headquarters is destroyed.
Oh, the better. Now vanish.
Ah, the drama of office romances. Baroness is upset and demands Destro do something to improve their lousy jobs, where he claims he's on it. He's got one big score that'll fix all their probs. A junk sale! Even master terrorists get strapped for cash. Destro hilariously attempts to pawn his crap off to Cold War dictators, but G.I. Joe intervenes, fighting to save the day, leading to one of the best jokes of the series.
You're all under arrest for illegal arms procurement.
You cannot arrest us. We have diplomatic immunity.
It's both absolutely funny and kinda depressing how well this joke holds up.
Of all the...
They're right. We can't arrest them, but we can get Destro. Come on.
Democracy sucks.
They can't dethrone Castro or Ayatollah, but they do pursue the dealer. Alas, he escapes justice thanks to a mysterious new femme fatale.
Thank you, whoever you are.
Coverta Fatale.
I thought you were but a legend.
I am, but I'm also flesh and blood.
Well, gee, I wonder who she can be. This babe may be super important for later. Apparently, Destro's the Giga Chad of bad boys because even the new girl's into him, where Destro cheats again.
Perhaps we could go somewhere more intimate.
What of the Baroness?
She he is but a confused creature with whom I have been erroneously linked.
During his date, we unlock Destro's backstory, learning how he came to be. The Chrome Dome wasn't always some thug for hire, but comes from a long line of warriors and professional arms dealers. Turns out the weapon supplier of Cobra is a wealthy businessman from a cultured background, and sorta fell in with the villains in order to carry on his family legacy of world domination. His bloodline of warfare going all the way back to even medieval times, as his ancestor got caught selling weapons to both sides of the Scottish War.
We shall all wear masks until law is sacrificed upon the altar of history.
This origin proved to be so terrific that even the G.I. Joe movie, Rise of Cobra, would adapt it as canon. When you got a good story, you keep it that way.
My sons will continue to rise long after I am gone.
During this rant, Destro informs his new babe that around this time, his clan gathers together for a special anniversary ceremony in memory of their fallen ancestor, with him plotting a brief trip. Meanwhile, the Joes are pissed over losing and prepare to comb the earth for that criminal scum. But there's no time for that, since it's time for mail!
Whoa!
Who's Allison Hart Burnett?
That's mine. That's my real name.
Yes siree, the best lovely soldier, Lady J shines in the spotlight. Oh, Lady J. FYI, no, I did not pick this episode because it stars my favorite trooper. That's just a lucky bonus. LJ's my favorite Joe next to Snake Eyes. She and Scarlet make our fighting women look good. For my unaware viewers, Lady J's the spunky, sassy tomboy of her unit. A fiery, playful soldier with trick spears at her disposal, who's simply one of the guys. But in this episode, a brave soul challenged by looming terrors. Allison's inherited a castle, and she can keep it as her home if she stays at least one night inside. But you guessed it, the castle's haunted. And it's here where we reach the real plot. Lady J spending the night in a haunted house, uncovering a dark secret, whilst also combating ghosts. Lady J, where are you? We got some war to do now. This setting's delightful, as it's a total homage to Scooby-Doo and The Old Haunting, contains trippy artwork, intense atmosphere, and puts LJ in a pretty ominous mystery as she slowly realizes she's not alone in this abode. Not to mention, it has a blast at the storytelling and creepy moments.
Where have I seen that face before?
Rachel Zegler? Simultaneously, an eerie sea captain shows up searching for LJ. After the townsfolk point him towards the right direction, they forewarn him to beware the castle, as it's evil!
Evil!
The setup behind the castle is fairly decent, since the subtle and blatant clues really make you question what's going to happen next. After getting into her sexiest clingy nightgown, LJ gets spooked by sinister spirits. The old maid warns her not to venture off alone, but this soldier senses danger about, forcing her to combat monsters solo. We actually get to see a more vulnerable side to Lady J here, as she's totally in the dark over what's going on, has few weapons, and is scared by nightmares at every turn, making for a super fun Halloween tale. You almost forget at times that this is even a G.I. Joe adventure, since the show does a phenomenal job at playing with the horror elements and building up towards something ominous on the horizon, especially in the dark, sketchy catacombs.
Stay out of the basement!
Plus, Allison's a super lovable protagonist to follow, as she's not just a typical action figure, but a wicked character. Miss Hart Burnett was always the more down-to-earth down-to-earth, fun-loving Joe, so you genuinely care about her fate. LJ remembers that Marines ain't afraid of no ghosts, where she examines the forbidden areas of the house to find clues as to what's going on here. You can tell the animators had wild fun drawing this, as we gain a massive amount of horror scenes and scares. We spot phantom shadows, jump scares, castle levels, trap doors, poisonous snakes, and a bunch of skeletons in the closets.
There it is! There it is!
Gotta give credit. G.I. Joe really goes hardcore on the dark imagery. Just one of the many reasons why this show had a sharp edge. Though my biggest thank you to whomever drew Lady J in a hot pink dress. Really emphasizes the lady in her codename, as well as gives our cartoon girl a classic Universal Monsters damsel makeover. I miss when boy shows were fun.
I'll be in my bunk.
Sadly, we still have the plot. LJ gets totally lost and questions what's happening as she heads down in the deep, dark basement. What the heck is going on? Why, it's really the Cult of Cthulhu, conjuring up demons.
Things are gonna get crazy!
Yes, for reals. The house has an ancient druid cult secretly enacting a dark demonic ritual to control monsters from the cosmic beyond, with Lady J truthfully being a victim they lured here all along to become their dark god sacrifice.
What?
This twist is so ludicrous, I love it. And believe it or not, this insane train's only just begun.
Things are gonna get crazy!
The longshoreman from earlier arrives and, no Kitten, gets into a brutal fistfight with the old maid. Scenes like these make me really appreciate 80s tunes. That'll teach ya for using the wrong towels. For an old show, this is some cool action, as it does not hold back at trying to make an absurd fight scene intense. But oh no, LJ gets captured and sentenced to death by hentai, suffering some sexy clothing damage as well. Exposing her well-toned body is vital to the plot. And yes, boys, sexy damsel in distress Lady J does have her own figure.
Shut up and take my money!
The cult leader pauses her execution in order to question her, revealing it's Destro. This castle is his. This is his ancestral home, and these people are his family cult. It turns out Destro's distant relative was actually a warlock who mastered witchcraft, and his clan would carry on his work of allying with the Ancient Ones. Every year, the cult unites here to bargain with demons to form an armada and get revenge by vanquishing those intolerant Europeans. Oh, and take over the world.
I want it all.
He asks LJ how G.I. Joe knows his home address, where an ugly truth is revealed. Lady J and Destro are distant cousins. Yes, Lady J and Destro are long-lost relatives, as the soldier girl was invited here for the family reunion.
Maybe we have an ancestor in common.
I find that thought most distasteful.
This is such a huge, devastating twist for the franchise, yet there's just one tiny issue. This is literally never brought up ever again.
What?
Yeah, Lady J, one of the iconic squad mates of G.I. Joe, and Destro, the co-commander of the villain army, being related is never referenced or even mentioned ever again after this. There's so much story potential and interesting drama behind this concept, but the series never explored it. They just drop it as a bombshell so all the kids who play with those G.I. Joe toys can play with the idea. It's kind of a shame, since it felt as wasted as the Bayvorce Optimus Prime and Megatron being brothers reveal. Cool idea that goes nowhere.
Oh wow, I'm instantly gonna forget about this scene.
Right?
Destro almost kills Cuz, but the longshoreman saves the day, rewarding us some hot, sexy combat and noise art. Lady J putting 80s April to shame. He rescues her, but Destro wants this black sheep dead. Who is this noble stranger? It's Flint, Jay's partner and love interest, who was undercover trailing Destro this entire time, and being a caring boyfriend. Aww. Flint used to be so badass before he became DJ Cotrona. The Joe Commander's here to save the day, calling in backup to defeat Destro and fighting alongside his hot, wet, half-naked girlfriend.
But I'm sure you're all with me when I say congratulations, you son of a bitch.
And we score that classic G.I. Joe vs. Cobra death battle. Outside, the Joes arrive to bomb Castle Destro to smithereens, only getting into a Star Wars duel with his guards and Firefly.
Making most things go boom by 9 a.m.
As per norm for G.I. Joe, the action kicks butt. This animation still looks quite impressive. The warfare's epic, the cast is fun, the high-stakes drama feels impactful, every Joe gets time to shine, and it looks plain awesome. There's a reason why G.I. Joe used to stand shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Transformers and TMNT.
This house is filled with a deep evil.
It just got deeper.
Don't fret, the horrors never cease either, as Flint and Lady J flee for their lives, only to get trapped with a giant spider? Because out of all the vast number of horror icons out there, the show chose to have the Joe's face Kumunga. Interesting choice. Kumunga's very creepy, as the spider looks so gross, almost eats the Joes, and even scares off the cultists. Not bad for an out-of-nowhere monster.
I can't move! What's he doing?
You don't want to know.
Luckily, Barbecue saves our couple by spraying the bug with a dash of Agent Orange, allowing the pair to escape. Excellent work, Gabriel Kelly.
It's barbecue to you.
Upon storming the castle, the Joes find out that it's all a Scooby-Doo hoax. Everything Allison saw was fake, and they turn the ghost effects on Cobra, scaring the dickens out of them. Hardy har har. Terrorists truly lack the bravery of American veterans. So, that's mission complete. LJ and Flint are safe, Castle Destro's ash, the villains lose, and the Joes celebrate with some cold ones. Destro anks now that his house is gone, only to win our twist ending. Are you ready for this? Coverta Fatale is really the Baroness. OMG, what a twist!
Yeah.
Destro!
Your house is gone!
The Baroness pulled this entire scheme all because her boyfriend cheated on her, so she sought some revenge by blowing up the Dick's house.
And this is but a taste of what you shall suffer if you describe me again as, quote, a confused woman with whom I have been erroneously linked.
Women.
This is such a hilarious twist and a solid reminder of how toxic the villain couple is. Compared to the loving hero couple, the Baroness had been working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything from the very start. She lured both her boyfriend and arch nemesis here to hurt each other, established the effects control room, dug into intel on both targets, and even posed as a few characters to set up her elaborate trap. Yes, all this destruction, calculating, and Scooby-Doo scheming was only about a jilted lover getting back at her unfaithful man. Don't mess with the Baroness.
I am not the girl you cheat on.
Destro warns her she may have won the battle, but lost the war, since his magic was the only thing keeping the Ancient Ones at bay. As we see, the monsters are loose. Where we won't get the sequel until a mere 50 episodes later. Anywho, that's the end of G.I. Joe's spooktacular special, Skeletons in the Closet. And it's an eye full of madness. Now this is far from the greatest thing you'll ever see, but it's undeniably a pure fun Halloween adventure. I don't know how anyone cannot have a ball with G.I. Joe combating a cult, summoning the Ancient Ones for world domination, because that's the kind of crazy which made the series so enjoyable. Simply put, this is a fun episode. It's got all that glorious G.I. Joe action, over-the-top villains, lovable heroes, unique art style, and shocking storytelling, but inserted into a fantastic horror tribute. I think younger viewers will likely be a tad scared by the Ancient Ones cameo and the piles of rotting corpses, but most will appreciate the wonder and spins it has on retro horror concepts. The fact that the Ancient Ones are canon to G.I. Joe is amazing. Many of the one-liners are funnier than anything the modern MCU's farted out. The cult makes for a quirky villain faction, rad twists, the haunted castle setting's larger than life, some of the scares still creep you out, the love letters for Universal classics is on full display, and Lady J as a sexy horror scream queen is something I didn't know I needed in life, but unapologetically love. In all seriousness, this episode holds up wonderfully well. There's just so much to admire or laugh at. The sole negative I do have is that I really wish Destro and Lady J's family connection was dived into further. Having one of the biggest villains and a fan favorite hero related should be a major deal, but tragically, it goes nowhere. I know it's nitpicky, but you gotta admit, Destro and LJ having a fallout over this could have been so epic. Regardless, it's still a dazzling gem overall. Not as creepy as the movie, but I tune into this every October. So, I reward this mission a gold medal. G.I. Joe has an underrated Halloween fable that should not go unnoticed on the radar. Skeletons in the Closet is one haunting trip worth gathering for. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and if you'll excuse me, I have to seal the portal to hell again. Ugh, I hate family parties.
Yo, Joe! He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy, fighting to save the day. He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose? To defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe.
We have diplomatic immunity.